Statistics show that an overwhelming majority of American non-observant Jews are leaning towards the political left. Many think that voting Democrat is the Jewish thing to do. As we discussed in our last video, no political party can claim to be the correct one according to Judaism. Therefore, voting for no party can be the Jewish thing to do. But this video will try to explain why many people think it is, by putting it in a historic perspective. Liberal political movements started during the era of Enlightenment in Europe. The Tsarist and imperial regimes that were the conservative had institutionalized anti-Semitism. The liberal opposition was promising Jews equality. The caveat was, though, that the new free society was expecting the Jews to adopt its new ideology, which in many ways was contradicting Torah. But it is only fair, they thought, that if the Jews benefited from this new ideology, they themselves had to live by it as well. The French Revolution, for example, was demanding that all religions will be replaced with the religion of reason invented by them. The governments that were granting Jews equal rights also wanted the Jews to consider themselves firstly as the citizens of their country and only secondly as the Jews. This is why, for example, Reform Judaism showed their loyalty to Germany by erasing from their liturgy any mention of land of Israel. How can you be a loyal German if you are calling Israel your homeland? The Jews had to choose between the physical threats of anti-Semitism from the right and the ideological threats of assimilation from the left. For assimilated Jews, the choice was clear. They wanted to get rid of anti-Semitic laws and did not care much for Torah or Jewish identity. They saw the liberal movements as their savior and enthusiastically joined them. The observant Jews were sharply divided. Many wanted the freedoms offered by the left and were sure that they can withstand the pressures of assimilation that came with it. That led them to support Napoleon during his wars. The first Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Shneur Zalman, thought that the liberal pressure of assimilation was a far greater threat than the conservative anti-Semitism. And history is a witness to how correct he was. American political picture was very different from Europe's. Here, Jews are respected for being Jewish. The left is not insisting on Jews compromising their Jewish identity. American conservatives are not pushing for anti-Semitic laws. But majority of Jewish immigrants who arrived to America in the 19th century were secular and came here with an allegiance to liberal ideology. In the beginning of the 20th century, over 2 million Jewish immigrants came to the States. This influx created large unemployment, and the employers were taking advantage of them: long hours, inhumane conditions, and small pay. This is when these Jewish immigrants invented the workers' unions. Many don't know that the workers' unions we see today is a creation of the Jews. First union meetings were held in Yiddish. These Jewish immigrants were also helped by the FDR's New Deal. This is how the Jews who arrived here in the beginning of the 20th century became the proponents of the ideas of American left. Eventually, these Jews established themselves, but they still support liberal programs because they want others to have the same help as they had once. Therefore, many American Jews consider voting Democrat to be the Jewish thing.